Hello, welcome to Canvas, the Niger-Delta Roundtable, where I discuss the future of this region blessed with hydrocarbon resources. Now, every week we give time to reflecting on topics that are relevant to the development of the Niger-Delta and her people. This episode, we are continuing in that tradition as we focus once again on how to take our region to a more promising future. The podcast is sponsored by the operator of the NNPC, Renaissance Petrol Energies Ajib joint venture, Renaissance Africa Energy Company Limited, headquartered in Port Harcourt. Thanks for joining. I'm Dio Elushakin. Our topic today is leading what's next. Every organization that hopes to endure must answer one question quite clearly: who is preparing to lead next? In an industry as complex and evolving as energy, leadership cannot be accidental. It must be intentional, cultivated, continuously renewed. And today we're exploring one of the ways Renaissance is answering that question through its leadership development journey, evolving from future energy leaders to what is now sustainable energy leaders. This is more than a name change, I'm told. It reflects a shift in thinking from preparing people to take part in the future to preparing them to shape it responsibly. Again, today, our topic in Canvas is leading what's next. And my guest is Chantelle Ogbonna. Chantelle Ogbonna is a quality assurance professional with over a decade in the oil and gas industry. Chantelle focuses on driving efficient, high quality project delivery by improving processes and leveraging digital tools. She's passionate about continuous improvement, championing smarter, more sustainable ways of working while building teams and systems where excellence becomes a mindset. Chantel, hi.
Hi, Tayo.
Great to have you here.
Same here. And I believe I'm welcome to Canvas, Niger-Delta Roundtable.
Oh, that's the first. Because we usually struggle with guests even getting that phrase. And you got it just naturally. You're natural.
Thank you.
Oh, you're good. You're,
The flow is organic, I believe.
you're very good.
Thanks. I appreciate.
So, evolution of energy. Um, what does that mean to you? Because I count myself as fortunate.
Okay.
Because I've lived through a number of evolutions, if you will. I was very much conscious when we did not have the internet in Lagos,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw the the rise, if you will, of cyber cafes.
Mm-hmm.
I went there.
Mm-hmm.
I did overnight browsing.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
uh, whatever I did with that, I saw the evolution of Yahoo Messenger.
Mm-hmm.
When I spent a lot of time as a kid doing a lot of nonsense,
Mm-hmm.
and here we are today.
Yeah.
And even beyond that, that's tech wise, but even energy wise, there's been a lot of evolution. And these days, it seems hard to even differentiate between tech and energy. It seems almost immersed now. What's your take?
Yeah. Thank you, Dio, for that very important question. A lot of times, if you need to understand something, you don't just understand something from the surface. You take it back to the historical data behind that thing in question. So when it comes to the evolution of oil from the days of Rockefeller, you know, oil and gas has passed through several evolution. Even taking what is happening to date our modern day civilization. You know, we have the days of the knowledge workers, We have passed now from the knowledge workers. We now move to the days of to the years or centuries. Now we now talk about digitalization, and now from that now we are now talking about the age and evolution of AI. So you see that the world we live in is fast paced and rapidly evolving, same as energy. In the days of Rockefeller, the way oil was explored, and today the way oil is being explored is totally different. Those days, I don't think that nobody was talking about climate change. Those days, I don't think people were talking about using AI tools or trying to be more sustainable, in the way they exploit oil and gas or hydrocarbon. But in the modern day that we are in today, you see that conversations have changed. People are now becoming more aware. There is not more like an awareness and also an action for people to actually now not just you knowing the theory of oil and gas, but what are you doing to ensure a sustainable future? Because you're going to pass this, the future generation are already awaiting. So what are you going to pass to them? Are you going to pass to them the native or the primitive era in which you came from? Or are you going to see how am I going to ensure that whatever that is happening today, that I am leading. I'm leading in the energy transition. I'm not being behind, but I am leading, in line with the society, with what is happening, across the energy sector. So, evolution is one key thing that, as I say, change is inevitable. So, change is something that we should look up to, and that change should actually inspire us to growth, should actually inspire us to better ways of working, should actually inspire us to living the planet better than the way we met it. I believe that actually answers your question.
An expression that the guest I recorded earlier today,
Okay.
before we recording yours, used, and I've heard it severally these days. I think it's a common expression. Nepo babies. You know what that means? Yeah, from it's small, I can tell you now. So, I am not a member of the future energy leaders, now sustainable energy leaders, but from my standpoint, it feels like you guys are the Nepo babies of of Renaissance. So, so what does it feel like being a Nepo baby of Renaissance? And by the way, the transition from what used to be future energy leaders
Okay.
to now sustainable energy, what is that about?
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you so much. As in quotes, you called us nepo babies.
Yeah.
I won't really say we are nepo babies because if you say nepo babies, that means we are the Gen Zs. If I put it in context,
Well, I put it in context as well.
um,
Yeah.
I don't. Okay, I don't want to say I don't agree with you, but but I feel that coming from we used to bear the name Future Energy Leaders, and going by the first question you asked about the evolution of energy, you see, when we were in Shell, we that was when that name was launched, when Future Energy Leaders was launched, and the and going by what our vision, our belief, and our purpose were at the time, you know. So the Future Energy Leaders was more of preparing and developing leaders, and it has a time assertion to it. But the world we are living in is very uncertain, very volatile, and very unprecedented.
Unpredictable.
Yeah, so we can no longer be using time, because someone might say, okay, why can't you answer, or why can't you be rebranded to today's energy leader? Branding you're still putting it in the context of time. So we want to remove time, and let's now put it to in a context of sustainability. How sustainable do we want to become? Because when you're talking about sustainable energy leaders, you're talking about purpose. We are now being purposeful. It's no longer preparing leaders, because in the future, we are trying to prepare the leaders that will take over. But in the sustainable, we are already taking account. We are now being accountable. We are no longer waiting to be handed things over to. We are now taking action. We are now change makers. We are driving the change we want to see. And we are holding each other account for it. So there's a sense of purposefulness, there's a sense of innovativeness, there's a sense of responsibility, and there's a shared sense of community. So we are aligned, we are so attuned to the Renaissance vision, and we are actually enabling that vision. And what is our vision? To help Renaissance to accelerate the energy transition, energy sustainability of Renaissance, to a sustainable future. That is our vision, and that vision is underpinned by our, will I say, motto, because we are being underpinned under three mottos, which is sustainability, impact, and there's one other one I can't remember now.
That's fine.
So these are the three core things that drives us as a community, but people is the heart of what we do. So how are we ensuring that we are leading with purpose? How are we ensuring that we are not leaving anyone behind? And how are we ensuring that Renaissance is the leading energy company, as Renaissance will always say, we want to be made in Nigeria, built for Africa.
Yeah.
So we want to actually, it can only happen through communities and networks like us. We will enable Renaissance, to meet and to exceed that vision. That is why we are here.
So you've discountenanced the concept of time.
No.
As far as No,
Yeah.
you have, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah.
So does that mean that you guys have solved the question of time travel?
Yeah, not about S time.
And then secondly, what is the gap that the sustainable energy leaders in the company are filling at this time?
Okay, that's a very intelligent question.
No,
Is-
I usually ask those kind of questions. Sometimes at least.
We are feeling a lot of gap. Number one, we are a independent grassroots community network.
Grassroots.
Yes, we are grassroots.
Grassroots?
Yes.
Okay. What is grassroots about Nepo babies? I'm sorry, go on.
We are grassroots because we stand for something. So we are intentional and we are purposeful. So we know that the bedrock of our community lies with empowering people and giving voice and power to the people. So we know that we are not just here for the for the accolades or for the jingles or for whatever.
For the optics.
Yes, but we are here for the legacy, for the impact, to ensure that not just us winning, but Renaissance win every day. We ensure that we are winning in our must wins. We are winning, in everywhere we have a license to operate. We are winning in our engagement with our stakeholders. We are winning in our brand reputation. We are winning even as employee network. So the gap we are feeling a lot of gap in the organization. Number one, we are providing the right vehicle for employees to have a sense of belonging. Because every employee wants to be associated with a community where their voice can be heard.
Sure.
Because a lot of times, what happens in a meet, it's not about the PowerPoints or the discussions that happen in a meeting. It's about the action that takes effect after the meeting.
Well, PowerPoint is very important.
It's about the action you decide to take after that section is over. It's about the action you decide to take when no one is watching. It's about you leading from the front. It's about the behavior you decide to model and the unacceptable behavior you try to call out. It's about, the way you live out, the vision, the purpose, and the identity of the network every day by day. So we have the vehicle positioned to actually give a voice to the Renaissance employees. We are also the voice whereby we're a voice for change because we are change makers. We are here championing energy sustainability. So we are a voice of change. We are bringing the right change, to the leadership, because that's why even during the EV commissioning, it was the first initiative being undertaken by Renaissance, by the network through Renaissance.
You guys are very proud of that. No,
Yeah,
we'll come to that
because
in a moment.
yeah, I know that's
Yeah.
why that's the
Oh,
gap
yeah.
we are
Oh,
feeling.
that's a nipple
because
baby feeling.
because
Go-
because because no, why I needed to just take that fact,
No, it's
because
fine.
the
It's fine.
leadership were beyond proud,
Yeah.
for we actually doing that without looking for a handoff. We took ownership. In Renaissance, we always say our leadership will always tell us, and everyone says it,
Yeah.
that you are empowered. So we want to, we want to, we don't want to tell you, we want to show you.
Speaking of showing and ownership, and for me, this conversation is not just to eulogize uh, the Sustainable Energy Leaders Network or
Okay.
even Renaissance.
Absolutely not.
I think it's a system. It's an example
Okay.
that other um, companies at whatever scale level or industry can take a cue from.
Okay.
So, what does it take to be a sustainable energy leader? What does it take to be a part of that and drive? What is the relevance of that? I think that's what I'm asking. So, whether you're in oil and gas or any other industry, or not even that big, why is that relevant?
Okay.
Besides being a nepo baby.
Okay. Some persons might answer that. There are so many ways you can answer the same question: what it takes to be a sustainable leader. But I don't want to make it too plain, because there are ways people can answer it, but you can't get the pudding out of their response.
I like puddings.
So, but let me answer it specifically. I will put it this way: a sustainable leader is a leader that leads with integrity. A sustainable leader is a leader that leads with purposefulness, transparency at its core, and a leader that actually gets things done, and also not a leader that is not willing to, a lot of times people are not willing to share their vulnerability. For you to raise your hand to say, I don't know it all, to have that open mindedness or have a learner mindset to say, I can learn from anybody. A sustainable leader is a leader that is willing, to work together to achieve a greater outcome. Not a leader that wants things done the way he or she perceives or wants the work to be done, but a leader that is ready to be challenged. The leader that is ready to, is like, just like in our two last sections, energize section, we actually said the consolidation and transformation that the company is demanding requires leadership that are willing to have both steady hand and bold moves. So a sustainable leader is a leader that is willing to actually adapt to or enable or drive that steady hand and bold moves simultaneously
Chantel,
without losing anyone.
Chantel, do you believe this? I'm asking you now. I'm asking Chantel. I'm not asking the Sustainable Energy Leaders Network. I'm asking you. Do you believe this, or are they just fantastic signposts? Because vulnerability attracts things you may not like. Vulnerability means that people will get in your space sometimes, maybe even disrespect. Do you believe it? Do you do you live for it? Do you, or is it just a nice signpost?
A lot of times, society has a way of putting, will I say, there's a stereotype to these things or stigma attached to these things, especially when you're vulnerable. It's just like when they say, when society tells men not to cry, not to be emotional. Emotionality is for women. But I don't think it's the right way to go because the way we are wired as human being, your vulnerability is your strength. It's not a weakness. Because when you ask that question, who is a sustainable leader? A sustainable leader is someone that even after you are gone, people are still following and are still going by or leading by the example, the model you have set. Because you didn't just lead behind, you led from the front. People watched you model the leadership attributes that they have seen, that you're not just leading with talks, but you're charting the course, and you are doing the dirty work. They are saying it. So people are willing to follow you and follow your legacy and follow everything you've laid behind, even after 5 years, 10 years after you've left the organization.
So legacy is when the job has been done. However, the process. So, in an organization like Renaissance or any other place for that matter, where someone as brilliant as Chantel wants to grow through the ranks, says you want to deliver. You want to deliver on the job. I'm come to that a while in a moment. Delivery versus perception.
Okay.
However, but you want to deliver on the job, but also there's something to be said for job satisfaction. You know that there's a prospect for you to grow.
Yeah.
So, where do you put that side by side delivery? Vis-a-vis, being seen or vulnerability, especially in an organization where you want to grow. Does vulnerability come into play then? Can you afford to be vulnerable, basically? That's what I'm asking.
Okay. Thank you for that question once again.
Don't thank me for the question. No, thank me for the question. No, Chantel, we're
Yeah.
not doing that. We're not doing that TV thing where you
Oh,
thank
okay.
me for that intelligent question. I'm not asking
Okay.
intelligent questions.
Okay.
I'm just with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
The job role the work I do, and the role I play in my organization in real estate,
Yeah.
I interface with the front lines. Because as a quality assurance professional, I don't want to be the tough leader. As they say, be soft on the people, but be hard on the process. So and also they say every leader a learner and every learner a coach. So vulnerability does not mean that you're weak. It actually lets people know. It lets people know that you are a leader who weighs his or her decisions. You're a leader that is thoughtful. You're a leader that doesn't just think of the outcome for today. You're not looking at the short-term goals for today, but you're looking at the long term. So being vulnerable is not a place of weakness. It's even where your strength begins. Because it gives room for active listening, it gives room for engagement, it gives room for effective collaboration. Because when you think that you have figured it out and boom, something happens, people will be wondering, I thought he or she knows it all. But when you come from the place of humility, courage, and honesty, I believe that there are a lot of people that are ready and willing to root for you.
Okay, fine. So, in Renaissance, like you said, inherited from Shell, future energy leaders, not sustainable energy leaders.
Okay.
And so, it is just a cool. Is that a group for the cool kids in the company? And I can't stop myself from saying this.
You say the
Nepo.
babies. Let me remind you.
Exactly. Is it just a cool camp for cool kids, or is that actually a progressive leadership plan?
Okay. Sustainable energy leader is for everybody at every level of the organization. That is why our belief and our purpose is bi-directional. That means it's up down, it's top down and bottom up. So at every level you are within the organization, you can join and be a member of Sustainable Energy Leaders Network. It's not selective. It's not hierarchical. It's not because you're this or based on position. No,
I
because
mean, even me, even me.
you're most welcome to join today.
Oh,
I'll send you the invite.
oh,
You
thank you.
can be part of us.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. So it's not for a selected few. It's for everybody across Renaissance organization.
Are there any critical experiences that one needs to have, to shape, your progression, especially as a sustainable energy leader? Are there things that you need to watch out for or proactively engage in specifically?
Come again with your question, please.
Good. Okay. So, are there things that, as a sustainable energy leader
Okay.
in the company or
Okay.
potential,
Okay.
are there things you have to do?
Okay.
Are there things you have to engage in? Are there must-haves or must-dos? Exactly.
I get where I get where you're
I
coming
don't want
from.
to mention regular one. Should I mention this?
You're free. You're free. You're the host, so you
Okay.
can.
Okay. Visibility. You have to be visible. Should I say it again? Visibility. Yeah, that's the word. Yeah, that's it.
No, I don't think you need. Okay, a lot of times, especially for young professionals,
Yeah.
sometimes we are waiting to have everything put together before we get started, or we feel that we are not ready yet until maybe I've acquired 2 PhDs, or I'm a senior manager, or maybe a JG1, before I can start, taking the right actions or the right steps.
GG1, senior boy,
You know,
senior woman.
no, I'm just putting it bare.
Yeah.
But you don't need all that. You can start from where you are. I love this book by Emma Greenard. She said the book is titled "Start with Yourself." So a lot of times you don't wait till you get to the supposed leadership position before you can take steps, or before you become visible. You can become visible from where you are, from the little works you do. In real estate, we always say small acts, big impact. And it's so true. It's the small steps you take. It's about the things, anything above zero compounds. So it's about the small steps you are willing to take, because you don't rise to the level of your goals. You always fall to the level of your system. And the system you should be building are the tiny experiment, the tiny actions you are taking day by day, every day. It's those things that compounds for you. Because when you're waiting for that visibility to come to you, the supposed visibility you're looking for, the ship must have sailed from the harbor. So you don't wait for that. Just keep doing the little things you need to do. Keep speaking up in your space, in the spaces, because we are all leaders in our various level. In your little team space, keep speaking the right things. Keep saying the right things. Keep challenging status quo. Keep asking the whys. I bet you, it's just a matter of time. Even the good books will say, when the cloud be filled with rain, they will empty themselves.
You said that if you're focused on visibility, the ship may have sailed. What happens with those organizations where every time a person wants to be visible is when the ship sails? What happens? What is the consequence of that?
Okay. For organization, waiting for when the ship sails.
No,
Come
waiting
again.
for when somebody wants to be visible. Exactly. That's when the ship now sails. Yeah. So,
Uh,
what's the downside to that?
okay. I feel that you have not been mentored correctly. because with the right mentorship, for any young professional, and if you're someone that is purposeful, you shouldn't wait for big rooms to be known.
How does that impact the organization?
Like I said, start with your little team meeting. Those 2 box meeting you attend. Those frontline meeting you attend. Start with your 5-person team you have. Start with that.
Yeah.
You don't need to come when you have a podium or when you have a large town hall to show visibility, or when you belong to a big network, or when you want to canvas or contest for big leadership role, or apply for a big leadership position for you to be visible.
Chantelle,
It starts with that little corner you are.
You don't want to answer my question, and I'll impress it again.
Okay.
So when the organization does not encourage that, what is the organization missing out on? That's what I'm asking you.
That missing out on a whole lot.
Like,
If you don't encourage people who are challenging status quo, I believe that what happens to you as an organization is that you remain where you are. The talent you're looking for might not be there. Even if they are there, they'll live in fear, because they know that whatever they say will not make any it won't get to the right quarters. It won't get to where it gets actioned. It's just like when we are doing innovative hub, when we are saying people to come forward with an idea. So just imagine when someone comes up with an idea and then it gets tossed in the dustbin, whereby maybe after a lot of back and forth, bouncing ideas, bouncing whether or should we fund it or should we not fund it, and at the end of the day we say no to it, you have killed the morale.
but some ideas may not be actionable.
Some ideas might be a big ticket item for the organization to handle at a time, but we should try them in increments. That's why we actually say agility. In Renaissance, we say we encourage entrepreneurial and agility and an agile mindset, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is agility? Agility is about being what? It's about doing and being. So you learn by doing. So you have to encourage people in those tiny little experiments they are willing to do, those increments, because that's where they find their voice. If you can say yes to those little increments, the big ones will come. So as an organization, don't shut the door. No question is useless, or no idea or initiative is useless. I believe that with the right strategy, with the right people, to rally around it, with the right ideation, I believe it can work.
It's Canvas the Niger-Delta Roundtable, Rossi by Renaissance, and we're discussing leadership, something along those lines, like what next, thereabouts. Fascinating conversation so far with my guest. I will have to go for a break. We'll return shortly. Conversation will continue. Please stay with us.
In the heart of our journey, where the sun touches the earth and the wind whispers through the trees, a new chapter unfolds. A chapter where energy illuminates more than just bulbs. It lights up minds. A chapter of unity, a coming together with a common goal to energize futures and illuminating lives. In classrooms, young dreams evolve, inspired by the promise of a brighter tomorrow fueled by available energy. Small businesses flourish, becoming seeds of prosperity. Energy that empowers and is catalyst for growth and change. The future is energy. So, let's light up the path to a sustainable future together. Energy for you, me, and the world at large. planet. We are Renaissance.
Hi, welcome back. Converse Niger-Delta Roundtable to Bright Nations. I'm Dio. And Chantelle. Let's see here. Chantelle, good to have you once again.
Yeah, Theo, thanks for this live section. And also, I believe that we are both enjoying the section. So, welcome everybody to Canvas Niger Delta Roundtable Discuss. I hope you're enjoying your
We're not,
moment.
this is not live, though.
Okay, it's not live.
No, it's recorded, yeah.
Okay, sorry.
But it's fine. What mindset should individuals in an organization like Renaissance or elsewhere have if they want to grow into leadership positions? What's the mindset? So, for example, Renaissance just advertised for graduate something, employment or something like that.
Graduate trainee?
Recruitment. No, recruitment, yeah.
Okay.
So, a number of young persons, some of them fresh out of university, hungry for what life has, to offer to them, and all of that, and they apply to Renaissance, and maybe they get offered or potentials. What should be is there a strategy? Is there a plan?
Is it for coming into the organization?
After you have entered,
Okay, to grow.
exactly.
Okay. I believe that if I'm to answer that question, even before you apply to organization, as a person, you have goals, you know. So, and also you have overarching ambition, because a lot of times people always want to know what is in need for me. People always ask that question. So if I'm applying to an energy company, so what is my trajectory in the next 5 years? And a lot of times when those goals or trajectory becomes suppressed or looks stiff, it becomes a problem. So for a young or aspiring young professional, and you want to get into the energy industry, what I would say, or my advice is, know what you want from day one, and try and as much as possible to connect. Not just connecting because you want to grow. A lot of time people connect just, especially connecting to the senior leadership.
Visibility.
Just because you want to get up there,
Visibility.
So, but you're connecting is you're looking for like minds like yours. You're looking for people that have the same growth mindset like yours. People that are willing to steer the organization, to the foreseeable and sustainable future.
Let's talk about. I'm sorry to interject. Let's talk about. I know I have been a bit, maybe even a bit of a what's the word right now? I can't find it. Like a child, even with my repeatedly using the word visibility. However, when you do your job well, inevitably, of course, there's some visibility. What is wrong with that approach? Is there anything wrong with being focused on visibility? Is that a challenge? Is something wrong with that, or not? By the way, yeah.
There's nothing wrong. Visibility on its own is not wrong. It's just like when the good book says, the love of money is the root of all evil. Money itself is not bad.
No,
So visibility
you look good.
by itself is
Money.
not bad.
You look like money.
So visibility by itself is not bad, but the intention behind it, that's what actually makes it either good or bad. If you have a good intention, then by all means be visible. There's what I always say in leadership. oh, we have to demonstrate visible and what felt leadership. So you want a leadership that is front facing, not work as imagined, but work as actually planned. So your visibility should not come with an ulterior motive, but it should come with a good intention, because you want to promote something good. You want the organization, you want to encourage a good organizational reputation and branding. You understand? You want to actually channel the spotlight to the people actually doing the work. That makes your visibility good. But if your visibility is about I, myself, and I, it's not so good.
What changes have you personally observed being a member of what usually used to be the future energy leaders in, Renaissance, formerly Shell, and now sustainable energy leaders? Personally, what has been your experience, and how has that improved you? And how has that, in your experience, also improved the organization?
Okay. When I joined Future Energy Leaders, now Sustainable Energy Leaders, that was in the days of Shell. I joined it because, in every organization, people want to belong to a network that gives them a sense of belonging, and a place where you are where you're your authentic self. And I see Future Energy Leaders that way. I was my authentic self, most importantly because of what the network represents, because it's bi-directional approach. It's not a one-way traffic. It's for everybody. You can voice your opinion, you can challenge status quo, and also you can drive inside out and outside in perspective. So that was my main reason of joining the network. And when I joined, the leaders I met on the network, actually, they were fantastic people. They were good people. And some of them are now part of even the core board members that are the current sustainable energy leaders, core board members, and also their external advisory board. They are good people. I know the kind of commitments they undertake. I know the level of workload. Doing a network job with your day job is not easy. Let's be honest. It's tasking, and it takes someone that is doing it out of not out of visibility, as you always mention, but you're doing it out of recommitment, out of purposefulness, for you to actually get the benefits from it. If I was doing it for personal gain, I will not after fail that Future Energy Leaders, I wouldn't have continued. I would have stopped. But I was doing it because I was not looking out for myself. I was looking out for the people, the young professionals that we want to attract to be part of this network, that we will hand over the baton, that will continue to actually drive the vision, the belief, the purpose, and the ideology behind this network. That is my reason, and it has not changed. And that's why behind the scene, I'm behind the awareness and publicity team. My leader is Alice Okpako, and I intentionally decided to make sure that we are driving the right content that is aligned to Renaissance vision, that is aligned to Renaissance Christ values, that is also aligned to that sustainable future we want to all get or be part of. That is why I'm doing it.
Let's discuss an elephant in the room.
Sure.
And I think that going forward, Donald Isesh, maybe we can, add some animation to this.
Okay.
Maybe those who are watching this can see an elephant in some corner of this video. Is there a gender dimension to this? Do you think that females are less represented? I'm springing out on you. I apologize now, but
Even in the days of Shell, there has been this underrepresentation of women. It's not new. It's a bit nuanced, if I must say, you know. And I know in the days of Shell, the organization actually tried hard to ensure that the its leadership, at least they were about 41% representation of women, in the top executive committee, and now in Renaissance, I believe we are just starting. So sometimes we have to give people a benefit of doubt. You know, we are just starting. So we just clocked 1 year. Let's see in the nearest future whether the number of women representation will grow, as Renaissance continue to grow. That is when we now know whether we are being marginalized or our voice is not amplified enough. We can't tell from today. Let's give time.
What kind of leadership does the oil and gas industry require in the years to come in Nigeria? We've come a long way though, but there's so much more to be accomplished, especially as our regards our energy transition process. What is the leadership quality or personnel required to take us to the future?
Okay. There are five, or let's say five. There are more than that. There are key leadership attributes that we must embed, and also embody if we have to, arrive at that destination we want to be. And I feel that if you see the way the world is now, before, leadership used to be by hierarchy and influence. But the social media world we live in have democratized all those things. You see that leadership is no longer by your hierarchy or by your level of influence. People, your subject or your followers are following you not by hierarchy. They're following you for one reason: how integrous are you as a leader? Number two, how transparent are you as a leader? Are you a leader that say what he doesn't want to commit to? You're a green, more like green lighting, or are you a leader that put your words at your back and you move the goalpost? You always want to push the envelope. Are you a leader that is committed to doing the work? Because a lot of times people like that word leadership. It's a good idea. It sounds like a good idea to people, but it actually requires a lot of work, if I put it that way. So for it, the attributes I would expect for today's leadership, for any aspiring leader today, will be a leader that should be able to apply a learner mindset to say, I don't know it all. I've not been able to figure it all. A leader that can provide psychological safety to say, to provide a sense of belonging to everybody, irrespective of their color, irrespective of their status, irrespective of their religion, irrespective of their race. A leader that is willing to walk the talk, not a leader that is just behind, but you're giving command. You should also be on the front line, seeing how the work gets done, and be giving people a pat on the back, telling them well done. It's not by scorecard, because a lot of times people think that leadership is by scorecard. Oh, I've been able to. It's performative. Leadership is not performative. Oh, I've achieved. Okay, we met our targets, and this is. It's more than that. It's more than performative. It's actually, demonstrating visible and felt leadership in terms of care to people doing the work. How caring are you as a leader? Because it's not a question of a carrot and a stick method, but actually asking yourself, how are you leading with your heart and mind?
Chantelle, I could go on with you and on, but we are pressed for time. I have
Sure.
to wrap it up now.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Canvas Niger-Delta Roundtable, hosted by Renaissance Leadership. What next? Chantelle has been my guest. It's been a pleasure discussing with you.
Same
A
here.
member of the Sustainable Energy Leaders Network of Renaissance, bringing incredible stuff to bear uh, in the company and a semblance of what other organizations in and out of the industry can also replicate. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And a bit of shout out to my Sustainable Energy Leaders Call board, Pascal Odende, Nabugu Tochuku, Alice Okbako, Robinson Inyobong, and Adetayo Fonto, I just want to say well done for riding this journey. I know it might be tough at times, but thank you for looking forward with the generations we are trying to we are the generations we are forming their sense of thinking, their sense of purpose, and you're willing to put your hand on the plow without removing it. Thank you so much. And also thank you to the EAB board, the external advisory board, who have tremendously supported us along this journey. Thank you. We see you.
Who
We
was
see
saying
what you
thank
do.
you?
Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Chantel.
You're
And
welcome.
thank you for watching Canvas and listening to Canvas Niger to Roundtable. I'm Daya, and bye for now.